Welcome to part 2 of the Rediscovering Wellness series, part of the 4-Wing Balance Library. Today we're going to be talking about myths and facts on fad diets. Before we get into the specifics on diets, let's take a look at some myths that surround diets and dieting. Myth number 1. In order to lose weight, I have to be on a strict diet. This is not true. Most diets lead to behavior that ignore natural feelings of hunger and lower our metabolism. This is because diets generally encourage low-calorie intake and a restriction of eating. It's important to realize that the majority of claims around dieting are based on personal reports and testimonials instead of valid scientific studies. We learn to follow the diet's prescription and not actually change our behaviors so that we can work toward a healthy overall lifestyle. Diets are attractive because they can provide you with a script and a sense of control. Sometimes you see success as the number on the scale drops, but soon after, frustration from fighting off cravings will develop, and other negative effects can be felt. To satisfy cravings, people may go against the diet and binge on denied foods, leading to a feeling of guilt and potential for low self-esteem. When people engage in yo-yo dieting, their bodily systems get stressed as they lose weight, lose weight, gain weight, and on and on. Myth number 2. If a little protein is good, then a lot must be great. We know that protein helps us gain muscle. However, too much protein is not healthy. Research has shown that a healthy adult needs 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So, for example, if you weigh 160 pounds, then you would need about 58 grams of protein per day. If you exercise regularly and engage in strength and/or endurance training at least 3 times per week, your protein needs could increase to 1.2 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. That means that a 160-pound adult would need approximately between 87 grams to 140 grams of protein per day. When we take in excess protein, our body can't uptake it properly to use for processes such as body tissue repair. Although it's rare that the body will store excess dietary protein as fat, it can happen. The body normally uses dietary protein for protein jobs or burns it as energy instead of burning fat as energy. Overall, excess protein will lead to an extra fat storage because your body prefers to store extra dietary fat and would rather use protein instead of converting protein into fat for storage. Myth number 3. Eating in the evening will cause me to gain weight. Also, not true. We've all likely heard the myth that you shouldn't snack in the evening. 8 p.m. seems to be the random magical number. Or you'll gain weight, or you won't even be able to lose weight. It simply isn't true. Timing for snacking is not the problem. It's the number of calories and the type of food you eat. So if we're snacking in the evening, we want to choose healthy options such as vegetables or crackers and hummus. We want to avoid full meals or foods that are high in sugars, salt, or saturated fat. Keep in mind that having a full stomach is good, but having an overfull stomach, which can come with a super big meal or foods that are high in sugar, salt, and saturated fat, could lead to disrupted sleep. All right, let's talk about diets. First up, cleansing diets. So if you're unaware as to what a cleansing diet is, it's claimed to promote healthy intestinal bacteria, boost energy and immunity, and kickstart weight loss through using a herbal medicine or laxative preparation, by fasting or for following a strict diet, or by taking in large amounts of water, juice, or fiber. Dietitians of Canada have released a statement saying that there is no scientific evidence to show that cleansing maintains or improves bowel health, prevents colon cancer, or achieves lasting weight loss. In fact, our intestines, lungs, liver, and kidneys effectively remove waste from our bodies every day. Furthermore, cleansing diets can be harmful, especially if done often or for a long time. Unpleasant side effects such as cramping, bloating, nausea, vomiting, dehydration, headaches, lack of energy, and dizziness can occur. Cleansing diets may also change the healthy bacteria in the colon. Serious side effects can include changes in electrolyte levels, low blood sugar, lower high blood pressure, interactions with medications, as well as vitamin and mineral deficiencies. Our second dieting trend is intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting, or IF, is when a person alternates between fasting, which means having no caloric intake, and eating regularly. Instead of focusing on what to eat, IF focuses on when to eat. During fasting times, water and zero-calorie beverages are permitted. There are several different ways to do IF, all based on choosing what time to eat versus what time to fast. Intermittent energy restriction, or IER, is when periods of energy restriction are interspersed with normal energy intake. This practice provides greater flexibility as the periods of energy restriction are generally shorter. Alternate day fasting, or ADF, is when fasting days in which no energy-containing food or beverages are consumed are alternated with days where food and beverages are consumed as desired. Alternate day energy restriction, or ADER, is when a person engages in energy restriction between 60 to 70% below their estimated requirements or a total fast on other alternate days. Modified fasting regimen, or MFR, is consumption of 20 to 25% of energy needs on regularly scheduled fasting days. Time-restricted feeding, or TRF, which is also known as the 16-8 diet, has individuals consuming energy-containing foods and beverages as desired within a specific time period, for example, between 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., which induces fasting periods on a routine basis. Currently, there are not enough long-term and large human trials to state whether intermittent fasting would be beneficial to everyone. No research to date has included military personnel and their unique environmental factors, so IF cannot be recommended when personnel are on duty, as being in a fasted state can negatively impact operational readiness. In research that has been done, participants have reported minor adverse physical symptoms, including lack of energy, headaches, feeling cold, constipation, and feeling hungry. Minor psychological effects include lack of concentration, bad temper, and a preoccupation with food. Physical and psychological symptoms can be experienced and tolerated differently dependent on the individual, which can influence adherence to the regimen. If you are practicing IF, it's important to ensure you have adequate nutritional intake of fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Stay hydrated and ensure you engage in physical activity and sleep well. Our next fad diet is gluten-free for weight loss. So a gluten-free diet is a treatment for those who have celiac disease, which is a condition where the body attacks a protein called gluten. Gluten is naturally found in many whole grains. When the body attacks this protein, a range of symptoms from bloating to intestinal damage can occur. A gluten-free diet may also be used for those who have non-celiac gluten sensitivity. Consumer surveys have found that people perceive gluten-free products to be healthier. This is often as a result from celebrity endorsements and personal testimonials about the effects of a gluten-free diet, including weight loss, increased energy, improved digestion, and clearer skin. To follow a gluten-free diet, you cannot consume any food products containing or contaminated with gluten. This can be hard as gluten is the main ingredient in many foods, for example, in wheat, rye, or barley, as well as can be found in sauces such as soy sauce and malt vinegar, and as additives or fillers such as maltodextrin and wheat starch. The first items to generally go are bread, pasta, cereals, and processed snack foods. These foods can be highly processed, low in nutrients, and high in calories, and so in removing these, a person might feel better and could lose a bit of weight. If an individual focuses on including gluten-free whole foods such as fruits, vegetables, and grains like brown rice, quinoa, and millet, they may see some weight loss and feel better as these foods are generally higher fiber. There has been research on gluten-free diets in the areas of gastrointestinal disorders, autism, and fibromyalgia, but it's lacking when looking at the effects of weight loss alone or general health benefits. Research on long-term effects of people with celiac disease on gluten-free diets have found that these diets may promote certain nutrition deficiencies, specifically fiber, iron, calcium, and B vitamins. They may also increase the risk of some chronic diseases and may cause weight gain. Because gluten-free diets are often perceived as healthy, people tend to eat more of them when sticking to a gluten-free diet, which can actually promote weight gain. Our next diet is the zone diet. So this was initially developed to reduce diet-induced inflammation, cause weight loss, and reduce chronic disease risk. The zone diet is a low glycemic load diet that limits carbs to 35 to 45% of daily calories and protein and fat to approximately 30% each. Carbs that are consumed should have a low glycemic index, which is an estimate of how much it raises your blood glucose levels after consumption. The diet states your meal should be balanced by being 1/3 protein, 2/3 colorful fruits and veggies, and a dab of monounsaturated fat. High-carb foods such as bananas, rice, and potatoes are limited. Studies on low glycemic index foods are inconsistent. Some say that it assists with weight loss and reduces appetites, while others say the weight loss is insignificant when compared to other diets. The diet may help reduce cholesterol, and it limits consumption of healthy carb sources. Our next diet is the Paleo diet. So the Paleo diet was developed by Dr. Lauren Cordain in collaboration with Dr. Boyd Eaton and Dr. Stefan Linneberg. So this diet is also known as the caveman, Stone Age, or hunter-gatherer diet. And the goal is to mimic foods that our ancestors ate, as the belief is that our bodies have not sufficiently evolved to properly digest and absorb legumes, grains, and dairy. The diet states that the obesity epidemic and modern diseases are directly caused by the modern diet, particularly the consumption of grains, legumes, dairy products, and processed foods. The diet removes dairy, sugar, grains, alcohol, processed foods, added salt, refined vegetable oils, and starches. The paleo diet is viewed as a fad diet because it removes whole food groups. This diet promises a host of benefits, including improved nutrition density, eliminating cravings, increasing energy, improving your acid-base balance, eliminating anti-nutrients, and having a sense of freedom. If following the paleo diet, you can consume leafy vegetables, fresh fruit, seafood, grass-fed meat, root vegetables including sweet potatoes, free-range poultry and eggs, nuts and seeds including unsalted nut butters, healthy oils including olive, walnut, flaxseed, macadamia, avocado, and coconut, fresh or dried herbs, and water and herbal tea. Generally, the paleo diet is viewed as a low-carb, high-protein diet. So let's look at the pros and cons of the paleo diet. First, the pros. Because the diet removes processed foods, it leads to a decrease in the consumption of highly processed foods among those who follow it. It can also increase consumption of vegetables and fruits. The diet is generally simple to follow as it doesn't involve calorie counting. The 85-15 rule means that you consume 85% of your calories from clean paleo foods and 15% from non-paleo foods, which this allows for more flexibility. Now let's check out the cons. So the health claims related to our ancestors lack proper validated scientific evidence. Whole food groups are removed from the diet, which potentially could lead to nutritional deficiencies. This diet can also be expensive as it relies on high protein, specifically grass-fed or free-range meats and eggs, and fresh food. Our next diet is the ketogenic diet, or the keto diet. So ketogenic diets were originally developed for the nutritional medical treatment of medication-resistant epilepsy. The diet stimulates ketosis by supplying fat as the main source of calories while restricting carbohydrates with moderate protein. When carbohydrate supply is insufficient and dietary fat is abundant, oxidation of fatty acids in the liver generates large quantities of the ketone bodies. The classic ketogenic diet was developed in 1921 and is based on a 4:1 ratio of fat to protein and carbohydrate. This means that the diet contains 4 times as many grams of fat for every 1 gram of protein and carbohydrate combined. 90% of daily calories are consumed from fat. The MCT ketogenic diet is a newer version developed in 1971. Based on the premise that MCT oil produces more ketones than long-chain fat, this keto diet allows more carbohydrate and protein intake than the classic diet. The modified Atkins diet was developed at Johns Hopkins Hospital in the early 2000s. This diet limits carbohydrate intake to 10 grams for children and 16 grams for adults per day for the first month, with a gradual increase up to 20 to 30 grams per day. Individuals who follow this diet can consume all types of protein and fat foods. Following a keto diet induces ketosis, which claims to promote substantial weight loss and assist in appetite control. If you have insufficient carbohydrate intake, your body eventually runs out of fuel, also known as blood sugar, that it can quickly use. This will take approximately 3 to 4 days. Protein and fat is then broken down to make energy, thus leading to weight loss. The diet contains primarily fat, unsaturated and saturated, meat, and some vegetables. It removes sugar, grains, and starches, and fruit as well. The generally accepted mainstream keto diet sees 75% of calories from fat, 25% from protein, and 5% from carbs. It is therefore viewed as a very high-fat, moderate protein, and very low-carb diet. So now let's look at the pros and cons of the keto diet. First, the pros. So it does encourage less processed foods through the removal of sugars and other carbohydrates. There has been anecdotal evidence of people losing weight on the keto diet, and people seem to report feeling less hungry than on other types of restricted diets. This is because fatty foods take longer to break down in the body. Weight loss is not only as a result of ketosis, but also from reducing calorie intake by eliminating food groups. As already mentioned, the keto diet was made for patients with medication-resistant epilepsy, and so the diet can be beneficial for them. Now let's check out the cons. So the keto diet is very restrictive, which makes it hard to stick to. Although it can result in weight loss, this is generally in the short term, as the diet overall lends itself to yo-yo dieting. Because the keto diet restricts food groups, there's an increased chance of nutrient deficiency, including vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Ketosis can be potentially harmful and include long-term issues such as hyperlipidemia, osteoporosis, and impaired cognitive function. Common side effects include headaches, fatigue, nausea, delayed recovery, possible reduction in lean mass, and immune function. Following this diet can also result in food obsession because you need to micromanage and track the food in such a restrictive manner. Our next diet is the Isagenix. So Isagenix provides solutions to feel better, eat better, move better, and look better. It claims to have cutting-edge science by the Isagenix Center of Nutrition and Science, called ICONS. And under Eat Better is a weight loss system and a weight maintenance system. There are several weight loss systems that include the 9-day deep cleansing system, the basic pack, the premium pack. So we're going to take a look at the weight loss system basic pack for 30 days is what we took a look at for this. So it includes the Isoline Shake, the Ionic Supreme, the Snack Bites, Cleanse for Life, Amped Hydrate, Natural Accelerator, and Isa Comfort. So the whole blend Isoline Shake is what's termed a superfood shake with vitamins and minerals, 24 grams of protein, whey from grass-fed cows, and sweetened with honey or molasses. The Cleanse for Life provides herbal and plant-based nourishment enjoyed as part of cleanse days or as an everyday supplement. The Ionic Supreme is a daily tonic that can support mental and physical performance. The Isa Comfort is a daily capsule to aid in digestion and overall health through cleansing herbs and minerals. The Natural Accelerator is a daily supplement that can help support metabolism. And Isagenix chewables are wafers designed to satisfy hunger. So the 30-day system has one cleanse day per week, with the remaining 6 days being shake days. So shake days have 2 meals per day replaced with the Isoline Shake, 2 healthy balanced snacks, and one 400 to 600 calorie meal. Cleanse days are where you abstain from normal meals and foods, and have 4 deep cleanse servings of Cleanse for Life and approved snack options, which are based on credits. So you consume up to 10 credits. 0 credits are for things like black coffee, tea, or water. 2 credits are for Isagenix chewables, collagen bone broth, and 3 credits are for things such as Harvest Thins, Whey Thins, or Snack Bites, which are all Isagenix products. So this 30-day pack costs $420.27 plus taxes. If you were a premium member, then you would pay a little bit less because you'd be getting it every single month. So let's look at the pros and cons. So the pros, Isagenix will likely result in weight loss. There is less risk of nutritional deficiencies, which with the inclusion of vitamins and minerals, as well as the 24 grams of protein in the Isoline Shake does help with the feeling of fullness. Cons, the weight loss might actually be too drastic. The Isoline Shake, again, is only between 230 to 240 calories, and so to replace a meal with that is not enough. That's too little calories for a meal. It also sells these supplements that are not based on peer-reviewed research and science. So I did mention, of course, that it was science-based from the ICONS group, but that is specifically for Isagenix. It's not being peer-reviewed outside of Isagenix. It's not sustainable long-term, and it's very expensive. Okay, so our next one is Weight Watchers. So this has actually rebranded itself to WW. There are 3 plans to choose from. After you fill in a questionnaire, the program selects the plan it feels is right for you. However, you can choose whichever plan you want. So the green plan has the largest Smart Points budget and 100 0-point foods. 0-point foods on this plan are fruits and non-starchy vegetables. Because it has the fewest 0-point foods of all the plans, you'll track most of what you're eating. The blue plan has a moderate Smart Point budget and 200 0-point foods. 0-point foods on this plan include fruits, non-starchy vegetables, eggs, beans, tofu, fish, and skinless chicken breast, and non-fat plain yogurt. The purple plan has the smallest Smart Point allowance, but 300 0-point foods. 0-point foods include all those on the other 2 plans, plus whole wheat pasta, legumes, corn, sweet potatoes, and whole grains. When you have fewer Smart Points available to you, you get more 0-point foods, which helps the goal of getting you to eat more healthfully and spend your points for less nourishing options. All fats, including healthy fats, cost Smart Points, so you have to use your points to have any type of fat, including olive oil or avocado. So again, let's look at the pros and cons. So the pros, no foods are banned on this program, which is great. There is an online support system option, so you can talk to other people that are going through this program with you. Physical activity is encouraged, and the program is generally well balanced. When we look at the cons, the program can be time-consuming when first learning how to use it. Although it is all mobile, for people who are not used to the technology component, this can be a bit time-consuming. Some people may feel pressure to purchase WW-branded food and products to make it easier to follow. It can be difficult to maintain the changes once an individual leaves the program, so that's something to watch out for. Smart points and 0 points counting could become obsessive, and it costs money to join. It's not a free program. Our next diet is the Carnivore Diet. So this is based on the controversial belief that human ancestors ate mostly meat and fish, and high-carb diets are the cause for today's high rates of chronic disease. So that essentially is the basis for this diet. The carnivore diet is a very restrictive diet that includes only meat, fish, and other animal foods like eggs and certain dairy products. It's recommended that dairy products be limited to only those that are low in lactose, which is the sugar that is found in dairy products. So foods to eat will include beef, chicken, pork, lamb, turkey, organ meats, salmon, sardines, white fish, and small amounts of heavy cream and hard cheese. Butter, lard, and bone marrow are also okay. You are encouraged to drink water and bone broth. There is no tea, coffee, or other drinks that are made from plants allowed. All other foods are excluded. There are no guidelines for calorie intake, serving sizes, or the number of meals or snacks in a day. Most proponents suggest eating as often as you want. So Sean Baker, a former American orthopedic doctor, is the most well-known proponent of the diet, saying that it can treat depression, anxiety, arthritis, obesity, diabetes, among other conditions. No research has analyzed the effects of the diet, and Baker's medical license was actually revoked in 2017 due to concerns about his competency. So let's look at the pros and cons. So the diet may lead to weight loss, mostly because the amount of protein being consumed helps you feel more full after meals, potentially leading to reduced calorie intake and subsequent weight loss. Protein can also increase metabolic rate, helping you burn more calories. Since the diet excludes carbs, some highly processed and high sugar foods are eliminated, such as cookies, candies, etc. Now let's talk about the cons. There are whole food groups that are banned. So the complete elimination of carbs is not recommended. Nutrition deficiency can also occur. The diet also contains no fiber, which may lead to constipation and improper balance of bacteria in your gut. The diet is high fat, high cholesterol, and high sodium, as it consists solely of animal foods. Saturated fat may increase your LDL or bad cholesterol, potentially increasing risk for heart disease. Eating processed meats such as bacon and breakfast meats can increase levels of sodium intake. Excessive sodium intake is linked to high blood pressure, kidney disease, as well as other negative health outcomes. Processed meat consumption has also been linked to higher rates of certain types of cancer, such as colon and rectal. No research has been done for the carnivore diet or for people following people who consume animal foods exclusively. The effects of consuming such high levels of fat or cholesterol are unknown. Okay, so let's look at the red flags of a fad diet. So when you're looking at a fad diet or a different diet and debating whether it's for you, keep an eye out for red flags. So first, promises fast weight loss. So for example, some will say, you'll lose 10 pounds in a week. That's too fast, okay? Recommends very low calorie diet plans, so anything below, 800 calories without medical supervision. Bans a whole food group. Tries to make you dependent on their company by selling you products, so you will only be successful if you buy the products. Does not offer support or follow-up. Does not encourage long-term realistic lifestyle changes. Remember, we want a healthy eating pattern that is throughout our entire life, not a quick fix. Employs salespeople who act as counselors. Has expensive long-term contracts, but hey, if you sign up now, you'll save money. So they use pressure tactics. Does not tell you about any risks that are associated. And promotes weight loss aids that are not scientifically proven. So when considering a fad diet or a new diet, ask yourself these questions. Can I see myself following the program for life? Can I see myself enjoying the changed lifestyle long-term? And can I see myself being successful in this program? So lastly, we'll leave you with tips for success. So first, eat a nutrient-dense, balanced diet. We recommend following Canada's food guide. We also want to move more. So be physically active. So try to accumulate at least 150 minutes of moderate to vigorous intensity aerobic physical activity per week and include strengthening activities twice per week at least. Don't rely on specialty products. They're not necessary. Be consistent. There is no such thing as a quick fix. You need to do the hard work for weight loss to be effective. Short-term choices aren't the answer. Reframe your thinking. So don't think of food as bad or cheating. Try to move away from thinking of certain foods in that way. For example, thinking carbs will make you fat. If you have a day when you get off track with your eating, then just get back on track on your next meal or snack. Don't beat yourself up about it. We also don't really want to use food as rewards. So for example, if your goal is to lose weight, don't reward yourself with food for losing a couple pounds. We want to have food that we enjoy because we need food and we like food, not because we've succeeded and so now we can eat the food that we want. Food can be enjoyed in unhealthier choices can be enjoyed in moderation. Moderation is so incredibly key. That is the end of this session. We encourage you to check out the remainder of our 13-part series called Rediscovering Wellness, available on our playlist.